that journey is so fucked, and it's almost like you do want to erase it out of your mind because the stress that comes from, like you said, the trauma that comes from it. Like no one, bro. Me and A talk about the dollar pizzas from Pizzanista. You feel me? You feel me? Like how I met A and we like the shit he saw me do. Like now I'm Boris the street artist. People have no fucking idea, you know. And I enjoy the shit that I make and stuff that I do, and I teach people different weird artsy shit, and that's cool. But like, this is why I'm asking. I guess I'm curious. Like, so you about to drop this shit, right? It's like, what is your what anticipations that you feel comfortable saying? Because I don't want to spoil it. What anticipations do you have for the drop? Like, you know what you got lined up. So the drop comes. What's the trickle after the drop? What's the trickle down that you're hoping for?
The trickle down is so basically I'm gonna be writing for this company called Substack, right? Which is like popping in like Silicon Valley.
If we to talk
doctors,
about
stockbroker.
It's okay if we to talk about that.
Huh? Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. These are like the Substack basic purpose of this is like it's like Instagram and Facebook, but it cuts out everything that's going on in the social media. It's just readers that want to subscribe to their writers, and it's the writers giving these people exclusive access to articles that they won't publish nowhere else. So these kids got a job at this place, and they were like, yo, you know who's good that we could put into this place? We could put 1,000 words in here. So look what they did. They put 1,000 words in there as a writer. So apart from all that, they already taught me the tricks and everything on how to get my shit right. You know what I mean? So now it's time for me to show my access. Now it's time for me to show my relationships and give people the words that go with the image, because people know 1,000 words, and it took a couple of years for people to put a face on me. And every image that I take has a story behind it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to elaborate on some images, but I'm also going to bring you the current too on my journalist thing. What I hope to accomplish with this is to eventually write a book for motherfuckers to study about us. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, everybody got a camera, but not everybody know who they really taking pictures of. Like, if I take a picture of Al Divino, I ate with Al Divino, and I've seen Al Divino paint. Another kid would just take a picture because I took it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's meta. Like, you took the picture, then another person took the picture, and then a person taking a picture of a person. It's the same person, but it's a picture of a picture of a picture of a picture. But really, that's Al Divino, though. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like for example, like I sit down and I listen to and I digest the music, the art. Like, I become a fan of shit so I can love it and do it wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not a fan of this, then why am I doing this for? Yeah, if I'm not like, I treat this as like I'm listening to Cormega, Kool G Rap, or Dipset. Right. I treat these motherfuckers like that because that's what these motherfuckers mean to me. These motherfuckers are heroes to me. Anybody that I come across to, that I try to put my camera to on, like, it's like that. But this year, I'm separating myself from a lot of things because, you know what? I keep adding value to my pictures and to myself and to my brand, that I got a bunch of motherfuckers that I've never met, and a lot of motherfuckers introduce me to a lot of motherfuckers, and they just think that I automatically got to take their picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going down like that no more. Like, I want to focus more on my writing shit. I want to focus more on my writing shit, and I want to be able to put out articles on dope shit and be in that category of like, yo, we need to go thousand words, man. We need to get an article by that motherfucker. And then later on, when niggas see my resume of who I interviewed and who I spoke to, put a book together, throw all my people in there, and let motherfuckers 25 years from now study that shit, bro. Because a lot of us going to be here and a lot of us not. You know what I'm saying? And we putting these footprints in this shit on our own. Like everybody here that I come across, like apart from like the mainstream motherfuckers is putting on their own merch. Motherfuckers is going with no money to go do these shows for free. Motherfuckers is just, you know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers get it confused, bro. When motherfuckers do favors for me, I take that shit to the moon because like I know everybody's time is valuable. So when a motherfucker take time to do something for 1,000 words, just know when 1,000 words is in position, he will do whatever he can for you. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's wild is
like,
I don't think people realize how immersed Divino is in, and I'm not gonna say art, but creating.
What, my brother? Divino he's a rock star, bro.
He is fully immersed in the creative to create things. You know, fuck calling it art. You know what I mean? Like it's like, yo, when I went to go, he came rocked at my birthday party, right? And so I met up with him later, and he showed me this space that he was in. I think we were in Brooklyn, and the nigga had the embroidery machine shit. They had paint. I mean, the whole shit was just niggas making shit. Now, prior to that, you know, I just know Divino is the nigga that rap. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't even paying attention to the fact. And then just that time period in there talking with him, you feel me? It was like, oh, you are a creator. You know what I mean? Like you're not just, rap is one of many of the things that you create. Or even just the sounds sonically, and I'm going to say this, and I will never take it back. And anyone want to judge me on it? The sounds that Divino fucked with, that reminds me, I remember when Pharrell came out and he had the weird sounds, and initially people were like, what the fuck is that shit? You know what I mean? And it over time, it ended up in, same thing like with Just Blaze. Like, what the fuck? It sounds dope, but like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? But what the fuck is that? He's that to me.
I've seen Divino in one day. I've seen him produce like 3 songs, create 3 songs, paint like 10 things, make like $3,000, go back to creating, put it on the motherfuckers on to shit, producing albums for motherfuckers. I'm
immersed in that shit. He doesn't do anything else but that.
He's a hard, not that you need to impress anybody in this world, you know what I'm saying? But he's a hard person to impress. You know what I'm saying? Because the motherfucker does it all, bro. And he's been doing this shit since he was a baby, bro.
I think like, I'll say this, it's like, during my time in LA, right? Like, cause you remember I went to Detroit last summer, right? And for me to see people that I knew in the LA street art scene in Detroit, and to see them in a different light. The LA scene, bro, like, it's so many. There's a dude named Blinky, right? And the guy that taught me street art, Zoso1, right? The average person doesn't know Zoso is a fucking master sculptor. You know what I mean? You know, right? And so these people are just like these like random street art people. Like, in the grand scheme, who the fuck knows who the fuck Blinky is? You know what I mean? Right? You don't know that this nigga running around crewing people up, getting it popping for the Los Angeles street art scene. You see what I'm saying? And then there was a guy named Mr. Sharktooth. He blew up, right? Sharktooth popped off, predicating people like Blinky and Zoso, keeping that shit active. People like Absent One and Dial One and Restitution Press. These people that, if you are not that world, you don't care. But they're decorating the city of Los Angeles, that inspired this whole next wave, that when I go to Detroit and I'm seeing This nigga got a whole building with a bar and a gallery. Another motherfucker got an artist residency place. And I'm like, damn, these people were influenced by these other people that no one will never know about. But if they had a you around doing what you're, I really understand the mission. You know what I mean? It's just a beautiful thing to see someone that really cares about it. There's people that'll do it, they don't really care about
it. You know what's the most scariest thing though about this whole thing, and it's beautiful too at the same time, that as much as I would want to be friendly with a lot of motherfuckers and talk to motherfuckers on the phone on a regular basis, I learned that I can't get emotionally attached with people that are just constantly doing business, because it's always going to be about business at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're going to choose the bag over you. You know what I'm saying? So,
you be mad at them?
So once you understand,
yeah,
but you know, like, people get mad at me for taking pictures of this person, that person, and they don't even see the bigger scheme of things when I have to break it down on them. Like, yo, bro, I honestly don't know you guys. Like, I don't know you guys. I'm over here showing you guys respect. I don't link with these people to talk about who got problems with who. Like, y'all niggas probably don't even really got beef. It's just over who look better than who. Like, it's just like men trying to compete with men about outfits and like more cheeks than bitches. Like, that shit make no sense.
Nigga got beat, and behind it there's a bitch behind it. You hear me? Like you break.
So I find myself conflicted in the sense, like, this ain't the block, and this ain't my school. This is just business as far as like how they gonna treat me in it. I treat this wholeheartedly with love, but these motherfuckers at a certain time, they just look at you like, all right, I'm off this level. I can't talk to this guy anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they look at shit like that. They do shit like that. So I just try to stay cool with people I know that I can conversate on a daily basis, because I can't really get attached to people like that, because number one, people break their own hearts. People break their own, like, friendships in their own, like, places of life or walks of life. Like, picture, like, you being cool with a motherfucker, and next thing you know, a motherfucker picking a bag over you, and you're like, damn, he's supposed to do that because he wants to get his money. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't ever see these niggas no more.
Done that more than I want to admit, and that's, you know what, yo, like, yo, man, I remember the first time someone, they called me to the photo studio. I'm thinking we're gonna work on some stuff. We sit down on the laptop, and this nigga opens up a folder and is showing me pitch decks that people have used to get a bag, but the artwork in the pitch deck is my artwork. I'm looking at budgets, 80,000, 40,000, 30,000, 60,000. What? You know? But why was that person around me? Listen, I can't really be mad. Like, nigga, that's the dynamic we were around. So I'm not shocked that you went and did that. Is it more? You know, where's your ethics and your morals? You know, we don't know each other like that, so you give a fuck about having that on some New York get money shit. You know, and we don't see, but look, we don't see each other talk anymore. But I remember I did big Jay-Z with the paintbrush. I did the 7-foot joint, and literally while I'm doing it, 2 of those motherfuckers happen to come walking down the street. Nigga, don't come over here. Don't keep walking, bro. Keep it pushing. You know what I mean? And I had to actually post up for a while. For like another 2 hours, I posted up. Nigga, don't take a picture of this right now when it just happened. Nigga, wait. You know what I mean? Let it rock, because I know you, nigga. You the nigga that put my shit. You gonna take this and put it in a deck. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this for a deck, nigga. There's a concept I got. It's a hot spot I want. I'm trying to make a statement right now. On you worried about a bag. I mean, I'm worried about a bag too. But that ain't why I'm out doing this shit right now. Like, I think that's our common ground. you've been in my studio. You can clearly see I'm not really. My shit is not based on the bag. like,
bro, Boris, no lie. From the time that I've met you and from the times that I've chopped it up with you and the times that, like, honestly, I'm gonna keep this so 100. Like, every time that I leave, like, from chilling with you or conversating with you, and I'm man enough to, like, say that I appreciate the guidance because nobody takes the time to talk to me and let me know what direction I should be going or what direction I should take it to. Like, you give me enough information to be like, you know what? How the fuck? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like, you basically wake me up from the fan aspect that I got going on with myself and like how I like to take these pictures. You also tell me like that. I'm like, yo,
yeah, XYZ.
get shit in order. XYZ, do this and do it like that. You don't say do this and do it like that. You be like, yo, you should just figure this out and figure that out and do it like. I'd be like, yeah. And then I come back and I'm like, yo, Boris, man, you were right, bro. This shit crazy. I'll be like, Boris, you right. This shit crazy. Like, I don't have the, like, nobody will understand that. Only certain people could be like, yo, man, this nigga Boris just spoke to me for like 3 hours, bro. And this shit was fucking crazy. Motherfucker made me feel like I just went to school on like the way school's supposed to be taught. But, you know what I mean? Because you don't have to. You don't have
how
to.
You are playing your roles with the photos. This is the role that I play with certain people. Like one day we were talking, and I said, "Yo, there are people around you that should be talking to you about this stuff, but they choose not to." I'm not saying nothing that a large portion of people, well, a substantial amount of people that are in the field you're in or that you're around, they choose not to because that gives you power to increase what you're doing, and you can't control when you are this move, and I don't need to fully know all the details. Usually, I mean, we talk regardless, but just from what I'm privy to, you are about to step into another level of power. When I say power, meaning energy, you know what I mean, right? People use that word power interchangeably, and they don't say it correctly. But you're going to step into another level of power that is uncontrollable. You see what I'm saying? If I'm seeing, bro, we're not going to go into the details, but I see certain shit. I'm like, okay, clearly no one is pointing this out to him. It is very visible. You know what I mean? You did this and the thing when I said about what pictures to have on the gram. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
And no. Watch. And you know what's crazy? You saw the Amber Rose Mook argument that they had on Drink Champs? What was he saying?
Yeah.
Oh, she could get this bag XYZ amount, but she put in and it fucked the bag up.
You know, once you told me, this is what you told me. You said, I don't think you're aware of the shit that you're doing. I just feel that somebody out there, your ancestors, somebody is just happy you're doing something. And they're guiding you to like you woke me up to like seeing like, who's really behind me, bro? Who is really behind me? It has to be somebody from like being like, man, look, like I'm breaking what people call curses.
There's a difference between energy is just the concept. It's like the power is like something directed, right? Energy is just it's there, permeating. You know what I mean? So like when they say, it's funny, right? Like when they say I fuck with the Bruja. You feel me? Right? Right. My girl Chiquita, right? So it's like they're into the altars thing, right? And you build the altars, remembering ancestors, so you can channel what they would say. You channel their energy. Well, their energy is giving you power because you're taking the energy, and it's just the altar represents the energy of them, and then through that you're harnessing that energy and then directing it. That translates into power. You know what I mean? But people think power, it's like in the negative connotation of power. You know what I mean? Like some people use their power in a positive way. Some people use people say positive energy, negative energy. There's positive power and there's negative power. The concept of power is so fucked off. So you have this power that's this energy for you that is this power. You happen to be in an activity where it's positive results. That's why you're not being met with too much blockade. You know what I mean? That power, the power you have has no match. You see what I'm saying? So those who are observing that do not want to act. There are portions of people do not want to add to that power because they can't control it. It's already coming from somewhere where they have no access to. They're just bearing witness to your power, and because it's a type of energy, right? They are gravitated to the energy, but you can't control the power that the energy is directing. You see what I'm saying? So if a motherfucker tell you some shit or expose you to something that is adding to the direction, the power that you're moving in, they can't monetize that. So I'm saying this is what your problem was before when you were trying to figure out. You feel me? When you came, first of all, you did the Polaroid print, but then when you put the strip on it, I was like, and you got the little hiccups and little headaches or whatnot. The shit didn't even affect nothing, bro, because you're moving in a direction. There's no stopping it because you have no negative reference to why you have harnessed this fucking energy. You're not come from no negative place, bro. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. I don't think it's not meant for you to fully understand it. You know what I mean? Because that's the organic part of it. You feel me? Right? You'll ruin it. Watch this. The nigga Disney, right? Right? Animation, right? He's inventing shit. Regardless of what people want to think, that nigga's an inventor too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? When you do the process of creating Disneyland, that's when he took the energy that he had developed through animation and translated it into power. You see what I'm saying? He built some shit.
Yeah. Damn. He basically did like what the Transformers do when they got like that spirit orb and they put it in the whip, and now that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Just turned into like.
So the Disney nigga he took his power and then created. Who's stopping Disney? Because the energy for it came from a place of creativity. It had no real immediate negative reference. Because there is negative reference. Don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? I'm kind of using a bad example, but in the idea of why it's so uncontrollable, why you can't pierce it, right? You can now watch this, but let's look at Rockefeller Records. There was negative reference around it. What happened to it? Dane was coming from a good place. You know what I mean? Right? Being portrayed like the villain. You know what I mean? Other elements around, look at Def Jam now. You feel me? Right? It harnessed the energy of what became hip-hop culture and built something unpenetrable. Now it's so many negative references around it. How it would do. Who wants to sign a Def Jam now, bro?
The power shifted.
Had too many negative references around it. But why was it so impenetrable? because it came from a positive energy source. You know what I mean? Too many ideas, you know, come and go because they started out with a negative reference. You know?
Do you sell everything prematurely? Do you think that, like, let's say, for example, right? Me personally, I turn down record labels left and right. Record labels reach out to me to document their artists and take pictures of their artists. And I'd be like, yo, man, what I do is different.
From
like,
different energy source. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, I gotta meet this motherfucker in the wild. Like, I go like this, like, I gotta meet this motherfucker in the wild. And if you do want me to step out, it's gonna cost
you know what
this.
it is. You're identifying what it is. You know what I mean?
Like, I told him,
Right.
like, my shit is more culture based. I don't give a fuck who got the best jeans in the world and who got the best chains. Like, that shit don't matter to me. Like, I don't give a flying fuck. But what I want to say is, anything I do, I want to do it wholeheartedly. Like, I never compromise for the bag. Like, I'm becoming the bag. Like, I want to be the bag. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am the bag.
Okay, no. But let's get into this, right? All right, Bong. So, look, you made me smoke another cigarette. I need to roll it by myself. Look. Okay, so now you cranking. Time Magazine comes to you. Time Magazine said, this is strong hypothetical, right? But I don't believe it's gonna creep me out if this shit happens too, because this always happens. We talk about these things and then they fucking happen, right? So you know what? In a sense, let's put this in the ether, right? So Time Magazine comes to you and says, yo, you've been documenting this culture for the last 20 years. You know, Marc Jacobs wants to celebrate photography of your culture, you know, and we want to give you this, but we need you to wear Marc Jacobs and be at and for the next 4 months you're gonna be engulfed in Marc Jacobs. You ain't never worn Marc Jacobs a day in your fucking life, bro. Right? So it's like,
Word.
That's a compromise, right? At that point, in that example, how much of a compromise do you think that is? You know what I mean? Like, you're being approached based on your commitment level, but it's coming from somebody that you know is clearly monetizing what you're doing, right?
100%. I'm gonna give you an inside.
Because there's versions that aren't.
I handled this before. Okay. I'm gonna tell you how I handled this situation. Okay. I did something for Coach. Coach reached out to me. They gave me a price of what they wanted me to do for Fashion Week a couple of years ago. And the stipulation was they'll pay me this much, but they get to keep my images. Now, I never let anybody keep my images, ever. So they paid me a significant amount of money. So you know what I did? I double backed on the shot. Like, with their own film, I double took my shot. I took my shots and got my pictures signed. And I waited for them to post the pictures I gave them.
Yeah. Finesse University.
Finesse. Yeah. And got paid. They're going to keep a part of my life that I'm never going to see again. Are you crazy? So it was kind of like an even exchange. They bought me a shit ton of film. I was able to take a picture for them, take a picture for myself, and let my lady take a picture for her portfolio.
Essentially what you're saying is, when they're...
I'm a find way to
right. And
that's
your uncompromising angle.
I got to make sure that you put my brother Vegas and Sin and everybody that's next to me into whatever fuck you want to put me in.
Speaking of which, I got a joint. Sin sent me a joint from the Labor Day joint where Gunn had his middle finger up. Yeah, I wanna blow it. Okay. I'm on this 12-footer shit. I want to do only big shit. Like, bro, I don't feel like getting up. My studio is always a fucking mess, but like, yeah, I want to do that. We got to do that with Sid. So what is this Wednesday shit you're talking about? When Ryan,
Wednesday shit? What is Wednesday?
I didn't want to say it in front. Yeah.
Oh, um, so like I said, I got this little portal open for a little bit.
Okay.
After May, this portal was closed. Harvard been around since 1636. And in 1637 and 1638, they were burning witches out there, my bro.
Another thing
It was a whole extermination of indigenous people going on over here. You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with a place that we're not supposed to be in, but we found like a little crack in the door, and we're just like, you know what I mean? I'm taking the initiative of kicking motherfuckers through that shit. So Wednesday is the day that they come to my house, and we have like interviews for my Words with Words and interviews that he could publish through Harvard. You know what I mean? You heard? So Wednesday,
okay,
I want to get you in there. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like you need your story for what like the people need to understand. Like people that read that, they need to know who you are, bro. Because honestly, you are like you're like to me, bro. Like you're very very fucking impressive, bro. As far as like how relaxed you're, like a fucking like a monk. Like you just go get up and just start busting ass. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just float. Like you float, bro. Like you float, and you be like the insight that I need. And you're a special person to my heart. You're a special person to this culture.
You know what's
I need
tripped
you
out
in there,
is,
bro.
is like it's like if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
You want to know what I'll be doing, bro? I'll probably be working a bullshit security job. Not to say it's bullshit, but the only way I'm saying it's bullshit because I'm on child support, and child support takes like all my money. And I probably would have been working at a security job overnight, getting my receipt with my game codes from GameStop because I pre-ordered the latest game, and I could go home and play video games. You know, and try to like, you know, I probably just be somebody that would continue supporting hip hop, continue buying my CDs. Like a lot of people don't understand, right? I picked up the camera because some of my illegal endeavors fell apart, and I couldn't buy CDs and vinyls no more, and I couldn't get my CDs and vinyls signed anymore because when I started hustling for certain things, it was for me to buy tickets to these hip hop shows and buy the vinyls that I felt I needed to get autographed because these people mean so much to me that I wanted to meet them and I wanted their autograph. Like, yo, sign my vinyl, nigga. Like, I grew up listening to you. Yeah. So when shit fell apart for me and like fiends started dying and niggas started going to jail and shit, like motherfucker, I just like, you know, I said, how am I gonna get my autographs and how am I gonna get to these shows? I went and ordered a camera on eBay, and I went doing my rounds around the city getting filmed. Yeah, and I fucking met a bunch of people throughout this journey that believed in me. I used to like motherfuckers used to buy me tickets to shows just so I could get their CD signed. Like a motherfucker would hit me up like, "Yo, did you see this motherfucker got a show?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can't go though, bro." He was like, "Why you can't go?" I'm like, "I'm type Pop." And he was like, I got you, bro, but you think you could get these CDs signed for me? Bro. Yeah. And that's how I built up my community started with like the 40-year-old dudes that were like, yo, nigga, we got jobs, nigga, like you good, nigga, like you could eat from us. Like we buying you beer, we buying you food after this. So and they really fucked with me, bro. Like I had my homie Lex, man, like he was one of the first people. I met him on the line. Like I was the first person in line for a Prodigy show that I like. One of the last times I ever seen Prodigy, he did a live show with a band for the HNIC album, and I stood like in line. I was like the first in line, and my man's was second with his cousin, and I did some hip hop legendary shit by myself that night because I had nobody to really roll with me from my hood that wanted to go to shows. I got an autograph from Prodigy on the Hennessy jersey. Like I was at the show with the jersey, like And Prodigy's like, yo, where the fuck you got that at? And I'm like, you gotta sign this shit for me. He was like, I got you. And I met Twins that day. You know what I'm saying? Big Twins was like, yeah, I got you, bro. And walked me in the room after the show. And me and Big Twins is cool to this day. Like, we cool. Like, I go to LA, I kick it with him. Like, but what I'm trying to say is, like, I did everything to pay my respects to the people I grew up listening to. Like, Prodigy was a person that I bought HNIC on bootleg because I didn't have $20 to buy it from a local mom and pop shop. You know what I'm saying? So I bought HNIC. So when I got older, I was like, yo, I'm gonna try to go catch a Prodigy show. And I did. And I got to get Polaroid of Prodigy. And I got to get autographs from Prodigy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those kind of things mean the world to me. Like, I feel like I'm creating my own world as far as like my own world of how I want people to view me and how I want people to see what I collect and what I come across, because it's a lot of special shit I've done and a lot of shit that a motherfucker, a person that's rich can't do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, a person that's rich will want to pay me to teach their kids how to be this fucking
true
ill.
shit.
You know
True
what
shit.
I'm saying?
I was at this place called Con Artist, or Con Art for short, and art collective space. And I was favored there, you know. And so every Wednesday we do a group show. And it's 2 levels. And I was standing near the door that goes to the basement. I got my art stuff down there. I really didn't participate in the group shows too much. And somebody there, some guy there freaked out when he saw my stuff, you know. And I used to try to tell, because, you know, these are like college kids and white kids that got money to pay for the membership and all this shit like that. They're not really into street art like that. And so they would always be shocked when they would see people have these reactions when they saw my work there, or, you know, yeah, privy. I would tell them, like, dude, like, I kind of did my thing, you know, like, I got a little history behind myself. I'm like, you know, I'm not trying to say I'm somebody, but, like, I've done a decent amount of stuff, bro. Like, there's people out there that, like, would like to have art, because I wasn't selling art like that. I would just run around, put my shit in the street.
When I first saw your art, I was at Wavy the God's crib, and I'm sitting in his living room, and me and him are chopping it up, and we get high, and I'm looking at the art, and he's like, yo, you ever heard of Boris Bernard? I'm like, yeah, sound familiar, boom. Then he takes me to, like, his homie's bedroom and shows me the other art that he purchased off you. So then I speak to AA, because AA's face is in one of them. And he's like, yeah, that's my man Boris, da-da-da-da-da-da. So then after that, me and AA talk about you. And I'm like, yo, how can I meet this motherfucker in my head?
Good luck.
What I'm saying? Because I'm so fascinated by art.
Yeah,
and I bump into you, bro.
A lot of people, yo, you know. But what I was going to say was, this guy, so, you know, he bought some prints. He bought a piece off me. And I remember I told him, I was like, yo, altogether this like 600. He gave me 1,000. And I was, oh, thank. I was like, it's a tip or something? He was like, no. He was like, I want my kids to come and just work with me. He's like, you know, what you do, they can't learn in school. This is what you're talking about. You know, they can't learn how you carry yourself. You know, he's well off. He's well off. You know, he's totally privy. Like, my kids live in a bubble, and I'm talking to this person that's outside of this bubble. I need my kids to, like, experience this kind of shit. And when he first started saying it, I felt like, oh, you're just trying to buy me. But then as he was, you know, he's talking about his children. You know what I mean? It's not like, really, he just bought. He just, maybe, I don't even know what he did with those pieces of art, but it felt like he kept rambling on about his kids. It was like, oh, you really sincerely just want your kids to have, like, a real experience. Like, you, and in meeting them, it was 3 of them. Well, it was 2 of them, then he brought somebody else's kid. And it was very clear that they were out of touch, you know what I mean, with, like, life. You know what I mean? So I don't know what he told these kids before they came, you know what I mean? But they were just like on, oh, so what are we going to learn? Like, they came with that mentality, you know? So, I mean, that's why from talking to him, that's why I did it. And it's like, yeah, man, like you're one of those people, bro. Like there are people who are gonna have children. There's people now watching what you're doing, even your own peers. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Even people your age, you know, that are gonna hope that their kids meet a person like you. You know what I mean? And to expedite that, they'd rather them be around someone like you so that they can identify those people. Because left up to their demise, they're gonna overlook us like, oh yeah, you just some street dude. You know what I mean? Like yo, man, I can't tell you how many times I did a workshop class. This one lady, she well-off lady. I forgot what she brought her business partner. She's at the print workshop, and she kept going on, getting on the phone, and she was talking loud outside. I'm like, she arguing with her husband or something. Her business partner comes down, and they wanted me to help design a studio space for them, right, for printing. Doesn't pan out, but she hung all the stuff that she made at the workshop at the house. And this lady ranted to her kids about me. And I was at some group show in Brooklyn, and she popped up, kids with her. And they were like, when I went to meet them, I said, what up to her? Her kids, they came and hugged me. And I was like, you know, like they're little, you know, like grabbing me, like, yo, it's so nice to meet you. Like, you know, kids is free. They think they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Forget the interaction. The fact that the reaction was to hug me. You know, that means however your mom was talking about me, you could see the joy in your mom. Now, you don't know what I look like. You don't know the lifestyle that I live. So to hear that and then to be around the person, now they in the back, leaving that experience, I knew in the back of their mind, they're like, yo, they can identify now. Or at least that was the first experience of them learning how to identify like something of value, something that's like not based on, you know, the bad. We gonna
and appreciate you, because a hug is like,
bro.
A hug is an embrace. Like, it's like you just don't hug anybody because you know we're prone to like, oh man, don't hug me, bro. Like we don't know each other. Like, don't hug me, G. Like, what's up with you? You know, so for a kid to do that, that does mean that their mother spoke very highly of you, and whatever she chose to represent you, those kids is like, yeah, nah.
And so like the legwork that you're putting down now, see, and I didn't want to say this when they'll probably see this, like those two kids you're working with, like I call it the tentacles. You know what I mean? Like the octopus is, it's like, you know, the brain, and then it's
the brain
tentacle, and those tentacles, though they're like the brain, and each one of those tentacles is a separate. The tentacle itself has a mind of its own. Each one moves differently.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying, right? And so the tentacles that they're attached to, like, watch how you know, like when you shock something and you can force it to move a certain way. That's what's happening between you and those guys. You're the shock into the octopus that they are. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's
because that octopus is moving one way now. This is why they latched onto you so well. They knew. Oh, we go back to the energy and power, right? You're that organic energy, and you're shocking them and giving them a new form of power, but it's gonna spread throughout those tentacles. You feel me? And those tentacles are gonna latch on to things and bring them back. You know what I mean? And when those tentacles, and they're gonna bring it back to the thing that's giving them the power. Like, look, this is what I grabbed. Look, here, I grabbed this. Here, what do you do with that? Here. It's gonna keep going on and on and on, and they're gonna be humble about it. There's things that they cannot talk to you about. I don't know if they're gonna see this. I hope they don't. You know what I mean? But don't be bothered if you feel like you're being left out of certain things, because how much say They don't even fully know, but they know it's.
What?
See what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like
100. That's the realest shit I heard today. That's the realest shit I heard today,
when
bro.
an admirer of what people can admire what you do, and they were happy to meet you. And that was a moment in time, right? When someone admires what you do, and they say, "Hey, come here, come here. I got. Are you interested?" That's because they got tentacles. Someone without no tentacles ain't trying to bring you in because they ain't got no other arms to reach out to. They're not attached to too many other things. Fuck Harvard. Fuck, and I don't mean that like fuck the institution, but like forget the fact that these are some Harvard kids. Forget that, right? They are into something. They were put onto something that you have a heavy hand in. And they're part of a whole nother thing. Like you're part of one thing, they're part of another thing, right? We're fully aware of the blueprint of how our thing can be used. Right? We're fully aware of that, right? Right?
Fully.
They're part of a whole another monster. See, this is the shit that I worry about with you. You feel me? And then you pointed it out with the fan thing. I worry that you don't perceive the octopuses around you as tentacles. You're just thinking about just the octopus. You know, Ryan and Brian or whatever this other kid's name is, you know, they're good people, right? It's the extension of them that amplifies why they're so good to you. You know what I mean? Right? Like, but you're seeing just them. They can it would take too much. It would be too much to talk about. It'd be kind of pointless for them to explain all that shit to you. They themselves are navigating their life trying to gain and benefit and do something positive, right? And then they got this surge. Now they're able to even reach even further with what they were already interested in. And you had no existence aware of. And this is why hip hop culture is so impenetrable. Even with all the fucking corruption and evil shit these niggas use for our culture, people like you and me still pop up and exist, bro. You know what I'm saying?
100%, bro.
Like
100.
Like we in the 50 year. Yo, my nigga, I know people older than 50. You know people older than 50. There are humans alive older than this culture. But the amount of people that are older than 50 years, right? Right? If we take all those people together and make them into one group in the United States, right? Right? And they were to create an industry, it would still need hip-hop culture, which is younger than them, for it to thrive. This is the power.
Facts.
Like, you know, the whole for the culture bullshit people say. You know what I mean? It's like, well, which culture you talking about, bro? You talking about the business?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Part? You know what I mean? Like, as far as I understood, this is creative expression to stay out of fucking trouble. The fuck culture are you talking about? Like, and you linking up with these kids is the one that we're thinking of. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's
Word.
and that's the beauty. This is going back to, like, I don't think you understand. Like, you are building you know how to play chess? You know, like when you get the pieces across the board and they become, it becomes a queen piece. You are now, you've made it to the other side of the board. You're the pawn that made it to the other side of the board.
I remember we used to flip a piece upside down and make that shit move everywhere. Remember? It got the queen powers. Damn.
See what I'm saying?
Yo, look at this, man. Look at this. Not even to gas this up. Look at it. Hold on.
But it's my point exactly. you have become a new piece on the board. You feel me? And you're a piece, part of a. You feel me? There's an opposing, there's opposing pieces. There is a battle going on, like that Drink Champ shit, the Joe Budden podcast. They have gotten across the board, and now they're playing on the board. Follow me. They've gotten across the board, upgraded, got back on the board, and they're fighting with the pieces that exist on the board. But they've been fighting so long on the board now, the opponent is kind of figuring out how they're moving on the board. Where is the reinforcement? I've been fighting for everybody on the fucking board. Can the rest of you motherfuckers get across the fucking board to help me combat what the fuck these niggas are doing? You feel me? Yo,
that's...
I watched the fucking Joe Budden podcast with him and the Jadakiss family. Nigga, that shit fucked me up. Jadakiss' dad has been in the coffee business 40 years. What the fuck?
Never known that.
Do you think BET wants to point that out? No. VH1 give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? How many times have these niggas had access to him and never put that out there? I was happy to watch the interview, but it made me angry, bro. Like, this shows you that there is a fight going on to reestablish what the fuck the culture is about, bro. You are part of the reinforcement.
Wow.
The Master P's, the fucking the Dipset movements, what the Lupe fiascos, you know what I mean? The people that turn down shit, they've been fighting for a long time. Wiz Khalifa, how Wiz moved where he wouldn't sign a deal. You want to cover Rolling Stones with no fucking record deal. You feel me? These pieces been fighting for a long time, bro. You are part of this new wave. What Rock Marciano was doing. Yo, Busta laid it down, bro. You feel me? To see Busta go do his deal, put niggas on, scoop up Rock in flip mode, pushing him through, Rock to take that, birth this new style, be consistent, do his deals, introduce the artsy thing, to follow up to see Griselda happen. Simultaneously, Stove gets signed with Bus. You feel me? For Stove to meet Bus, for Stove to meet Rock through, but the chess piece is moving. Busta has been a piece that's made it across the board and is now fighting on the board. How long Busta Rhymes been around, bro? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
Forever,
so people
bro.
like, and then so the Rock Marcianos, what's old boy? The other kid, God Fahim. God Fahim is part.
Fact.
How you are a reinforcement, God Fahim is a reinforcement. You see what I'm saying? Like, nigga, it's not. It's fun and games to a degree. You know what I mean? You know.
But the bigger scheme is even bigger.
It just happens to be that we get to enjoy the shit that we're partaking in. But don't get it twisted. Like, I can clearly see that there's this one kid, the one guy asked me, well, why do you like street art? British dude. I'm not going to say his name. Very popular street art guy in the Lower East, right? You know, we talking, he run around with Jerry Schultz, the art critic, New York Times. Like, the nigga he's a British boy, though. He don't like that I say that about him. Fuck him. Me saying that is identifying him enough. And he asked me, well, why'd you really get into street art? And I said, well, in the arts, it's the one game that the white boy can't control what the fuck I do. Offended, you know what I mean? You racist, so. You know what I mean? That's not racism. That's just me identifying, like, yo, I can see that people like us, we're met with a resistance of access. You know what I mean? No one can stop you from buying a camera. No one can stop you from fucking going outside and taking pictures. They can't control that. I do the fuck I want. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Right.
And in elaborating about it, and I told him, I said, yo, wheat paste, like the particular like printing and whatnot, printing costs, bro. Shit is not cheap. That's why you don't see a lot of black dudes in street art, which is one of the underlining reasons why I like doing it. Nigga, I'm in here too, nigga. Fuck that. You know? And I'm a finesse. Like how I'm a finesse. Yo, nigga. When the motherfucker saw how I stretch ink, the white boy was fucked up. He was like, what the? I wasn't thinking about it when I was doing it around him, how I was whipping the ink, or like when they go buy the paste from the store. Even right now, I got some people that I showed them how to make. We on the Zoom, and the white boy talking about, oh, well, you can just go to Home Depot and you buy. I was like, man, the shit at Home Depot, you know that Vandal Squad has a solvent that can easily fucking swipe your shit because they know it's from Home Depot. You make your shit homemade, they don't know what it is, so it's harder for them to remove it. And it's cheaper, you know what I mean? But on the face value, someone's always telling people, oh, you can go buy it at Home Depot. And you go see in the prices, you like, do I pay my cell phone bill or do I buy this shit? Oh, man, I ain't fucking with that. Oh, well, where you get paper? Where you get ink? Nigga, I make my ink, nigga. You know what I mean? How you you know what I'm saying? But it keeps you out of the game. So there aren't enough of us crossing the board. We're still competing in the street art, the Protect Your Heart kit, a couple other ones. There are not that many black people doing wheat paste street art. It's just not. Where do you have a place to keep all your screen? A lot of niggas don't have studios like this. Crazy, you know? But I'm saying all this to say, not even just that, but be aware that I'm rare in the idea I'm having fun, that I place myself in the spot, but I'm cognitive that there's a more sinister competitive dynamic going on. You know what I mean?
Like,
you feel me? Like
type shit.
Polaroid is instant photography. That's physical. You are taking Polaroids instant, just like Instagram. You're taking instant pictures that are tangible. On top of it, you take an instant photo, tangible, scan it, put it in their sphere, let it run around, and then you can make replicas of it and sell it through their shit, and they don't get the fuck out of here. You think you like a Uzi. You know what I mean? You're not a machine gun, but you know you with rapid fire. You see what I'm saying? How many niggas are Polaroid niggas on social media with it's a lot of these niggas. And none of you niggas thought to make the fucking replica. Shut the fuck up. You know, you see what I'm certain way where it's clear you're getting on the other side of the board. And the longer a motherfucker keep you unaware of where you sit on the board, the easier it is for them to keep moving their pieces around and keep winning the game. You see what I'm saying? Nigga, before you even popped off, you said coach hired you, nigga. You couldn't even see where you were on the board, nigga. And we want the photo. Coach has the photos that you took and hasn't even thought to fucking replicate them like you did. I'm just saying.
Fact.
You can think you're just taking pictures of you documenting culture. You are competing in a way that's warlike. Don't ever get that fucked up. Graffiti is war. That's why they say you bomb. You feel me?
Word.
You better
Facts.
you better create a vandal squad. Yeah, take some of this city budget and worry about us. And those cops that were doing so and so, they freeing up so niggas black market money can go because you got to worry about us now. And stop breaking up our block parties. Stop breaking up our underground parties because you got to worry about graffiti niggas now. It's war, bro. Don't ever. And if there's the church, war, and politics are the highest, and health, like scientific research. Those, and I wouldn't even say scientific research. Yeah, scientific. Those four are highly documented, nigga. But the longer you think this shit not a war, the less you will be documented. So what's going on in this culture? There's warlike shit going on. The fight to establish the genre or the sub. I don't like to say subculture, but I prefer to say black market scene. The black market lifestyle that we're in, you are documenting it. You feel me?
Can I ask you, how do you feel about me being of indigenous background? And like my mom comes from Ecuador, like I said, my pops is from Honduras. This is this is like, you know, black culture. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop culture. How do you feel me documenting
what do you mean when you say how I feel? Like you trying to go?
Because there's people that love me and there's people that cherish me, but there's also people that hate me. You know what I mean? Like there's people that sometimes say like they don't know my background. I've been like people be like, yo, you German, German that.
I'm gonna go on the lesser route real quick first. I'm gonna take the lesser route. So you know, there's a photographer that documented Muhammad Ali, right? Gordon okay. Parks, I think that's his name, right? It's a brother, right?
Okay.
What's the ethnicity of the motherfucker that owns the film that he's using?
Japanese.
What's the problem?
Word.
So it's a black guy.
Word.
I'm just saying.
Word.
All the photographs from black photographers documenting black culture was buying Kodak, nigga. Kodak's a white dude from Rochester. See, you're talking about a surface level argument. You feel me? That's a surface level issue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Because this was never an issue. What I'm saying is like, I know where I grew up and I know the people I grew up around. Like, I never had to study the culture because I was born in the culture. Like, this is like, people be like, oh, yeah, I'm part of the culture. Like, motherfucker, like, what is being part of the culture to you? Like I feel like the things that I've, like, seen and been through and, like, everything that I've been around led me to this point here in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just the culture, what we call the culture.
So look at this, right? So it's funny.
Because now I'm just saying people are sensitive. Like we in a sensitive era now, like where I don't want to word this wrong. I feel like everything that we've done in the past is starting to be relevant. Like it's always been relevant, but I feel like there's certain things we can't really elaborate on because it'd be like, oh, who he's talking to. We gotta like do this and like do that or like cancel this or cancel that. I look at shit like,
yo, let me tell you, I'm gonna keep it 1,000, right? And see this, IG probably Meta, because it's not even IG. Meta, the company Meta, gonna clip us. Yo, so I'm walking with this homegirl. She's very rainbow. So yeah, but she's, you know, she's Dominican. She identifies as black, but you know, her heritage is Dominican, right? Like going too. You ain't even really like, you know, got too much hue to you. You know, you just got slighted pigment, right? We near Union Square, and the white girl walks by, and she had a certain hairstyle. And she said, yo, I hate that shit. She said, I remember when the white kids get punched in the face. That's our culture. Watch this. This is what you said about being sensitive. I said, you know what? Your rainbow culture pushed the idea of the anti-bully thing, the being more inclusive. I said, and that wave of success opened the window for people like that to feel comfortable doing that. Because now there's not people being as aggressive about preserving things. See, for you niggas that have lane, there was a trickle down that other people are taking advantage of, right? Now, I'm not hating on the Rainbow Society. You feel me? They deserve their just due in their own light. And there's some things that have been done to them that ain't too cool. You know what I mean? Right? I got my views. You know what I mean? I ain't running around. I ain't hopping around at Pride Week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that. But, you know, something about being a human, right? And so in the sensitive nature of people being offended, you know that meme that they say, you know the meme where the lady says, the real, she says, you know, I be wrong sometimes. You know what I mean? I be doing fucked up shit. But you know what? Fuck them people. You know what I mean? Nigga, fuck them people. If you sensitive, nigga, fuck you. You know what I mean? Fuck off, nigga. You know what I mean? So like, you when you say of indigenous heritage, right? If I'm gonna say this, oh yeah, I make the pilgrim comment. You know what I mean? I got a person that doesn't like that I call people pilgrims, right? And I said to the lady, this is in reference to what you're talking about, because in the question of my indigenous heritage, you got undertones of pilgrim behavior, like coming and settling on something that supposedly isn't true, right? Like whatever they call it, what it is, that's what it is, right? And so she got mad, and I said, yo, I was like, Muslims make their pilgrimage to Mecca. You know what I mean? Right? Pilgrimage is when you take a journey to somewhere, typically in mass, to another location and set up shop and operate there. You go somewhere where you're not from and participate there. That motherfucker pilgrim. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
right?
Shit.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
That's fine, bro.
You not from there. You came from somewhere else and brought your customs there because people of your custom, of your culture, happen to be there. You are operating inside spaces that identify with your culture. You make your pilgrimage to the places where the culture that you are documenting exists. What problem is there?
Wow. That's fucking,
you see what I'm saying?
Beautifully said, bro.
You're not. Are you now? Watch this. Are you the shit going on in Ukraine? Are you going over Ukraine and be like, I need to go to Ukraine and take Polaroids? but you see what I'm saying?
I mean,
your
would.
mindset is not like, yo, it's cracking in Ukraine. Let me go document the people that are, the atrocities that are going over there. No, you're like, my mission is this particular culture that I grew up in, and you're focused on that. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
But if you were to go
I'm
over to Ukraine,
mission.
don't know shit about Ukraine, don't got no Ukrainian friends, you're not part of that culture, you over there documenting, taking pictures, the niggas need to feel some way. You a pilgrim.
They gonna be mad as hell at me. Like, who the fuck are you to take pictures of my fucking
You see what I'm
neighborhood,
saying?
like, blown up?
So this is what you're talking about, right? You don't do that. You know what I mean? It'd be different if, yo, man, like, but for the people that do have this conflicting mindset that hip hop is black culture, what fucking culture in the world isn't black? Shut the fuck up, bro. And there's only one group, and I say one, there's one group that is against that culture, and them the only ones that you call pilgrims. Are you you weren't at the Pusha T set and saw Stove Garden And instead, your conversation was, yo, they got camera equipment in the one, so let's go break in that joint, steal that shit. Fuck these niggas. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to punk rock shows trying to figure out how to make fake tickets and sell them. You know what I mean? Like, you're not indulging in some shit that ain't what you a part of, that you didn't grow up around, that you wasn't exposed to. Yo, man, like, it's nothing wrong with people having their views about who is credited as, I guess you could say, the origin of something. Okay. And then the trickle down happens. So if you are, so for lack of better words, consider yourself part of the trickle down. And nothing's changing. You're not claiming like, yo, Ecuadorians created hip hop and Polaroids. Get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's those people that are involved in, like, you know, like how they talk about Vlad, right? Right? Theoretically, positive or negative, Vlad is documenting something. I don't like the shit that he does. You feel me? But the nigga really was a DJ for real. How the fuck did he get access to all those fucking people? Because he was in the fucking culture. He was outside.
He was outside.
Now, is he, watch us circle back. Is he taking the energy that he gets from being into it and turning it into negative power? Yes. But to act like why we don't understand how he's here, because he was into the shit, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, on the Math Hoffa fucking podcast, oh boy, the one white rapper dude that was on Tommy Boy, he was talking about how he wanted to learn about, 5%er, and he was saying, yo, I had to sit and wait. There was certain shit that they would say, you gotta go over here. And he said, I understood. This is not my culture. I know my fucking place. And when it is offered to me, how would it get offered to you? You immersed yourself into it. It's the question you're asking about pertains to the motherfuckers that don't immerse into it. You got a homie that knows somebody, and you got in because you got his girlfriend a job somewhere, and now you take a flick on the gram and son, and you don't give a fuck, and you be going to fucking the Grand Opry in Nashville watching country shows and shit. You don't give a fuck about rap music. Because there's motherfuckers like that. You know what I mean? Like, can't nobody take shit to Tiger Woods.
Fact.
All that footage show, that nigga been golfing since he was the fuck how tall. That nigga didn't be like, that nigga wasn't like what you're saying, oh man, I don't want to work this security job. You know what? I'm pretty athletic. It's pretty inexpensive to get into golf. Let me get into golf. See, I'm black, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I probably got skills in it. Let me get into that. And the golf niggas looking at him like, bro, fuck are you? You black at that. Fuck out of here. That footage shows, nigga, I've been doing this since I was a baby, nigga. I'm part of golf culture, nigga. Fuck it. Fuck out. And I'm better than you, nigga. Shut the fuck up. the Williamson, fuck Facts. You. Oh, yeah, I know I don't look like you. Yeah, the outfits fit different on me. Yeah, I got curves. It looks a certain way in the pictures. You know what? Well, before I had all this, I was playing. Shut the fuck up. And there are people in tennis culture, golf, they love them because they can see, yo, you've been in this forever. But someone like Tim Duncan, he started playing basketball when he was like in 11th grade, bro. And he just was really tall. Ain't no pictures.
And he used the basics.
And how many endorsement deals Tim Duncan get when he was in the NBA?
How many chips
you
he
know
got?
What I'm saying? But what I'm saying is,
chips.
Kobe versus Tim Duncan. Vince Carter versus Tim Duncan. Nigga, there's hella footage of Vince Carter as a kid. Hype. Tim Duncan's perceived a little, man, nigga, you kind of vulturing a little bit, my nigga. You know what I mean? Some other nigga that was really into basketball saw that you were tall. They need a tall person. They put you in. That nigga was swimming. You on a swim team, nigga. He grew up swimming.
Right.
Oh, well, if I do this and I learn the basics, man, I can get a college degree and I ain't got to pay for college. You don't really give a fuck about basketball, bro. But you learn to appreciate and participate a certain way. That's why he ain't never talked too crazy. Because he around other niggas that he know, these niggas, this been their life. You know what I'm saying? So this been your life, bro. Like, the places that you go, you can go there because you live that life. Ain't nobody, you don't got to figure out the social cues and the fucking the colloquial terms and the etiquette to be able to fit around niggas, right? You could, if Gucci Man got trapped in, no, here we go, no, what's his name? 2 Chainz. So, oh, you in Atlanta, come holler at me. I'm at blah, 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 blah. You start rolling down the street. You like, oh, this the block. They getting it over here. Nigga, are you shook? No, you're not. Because you grew up around the shit. You know what I'm saying? How you can get the photos you get.
Facts.
And the next kid who didn't come from that, who doesn't know that, right? You're introducing it to them a certain way. And now you're creating a portal and a platform to tell the stories so at least they can have a better understanding. Because if you don't do, without you, if you didn't take on this journey, it'd be a continuum of these kids just hopping on thinking that they of the culture. The culture. No rhetoric. Man, the fuck, bro, I'm telling you. Yo. And be scared. Because it's about to get out of control for you. You ain't about to have no control over this shit. You safe because you got a good woman on your side. You know what I mean? Like Nori always talks about that he got his wife with him everywhere he go. Yo, when you did this shit Labor Day, bro, and I seen how she was, I said, oh, this nigga's it's all right. When we were here and I was talking, I told you, I said, yo, you need to let her fucking be more, you know, like hands-on. Nigga, like, fuck just the pictures, nigga. Like, she works at, what? I'm not even gonna say it, but man, you straight, nigga. Just know, I've created waves before. You know what I mean? Right? I've created waves before.
For sure.
Nigga, you will never fathom how big your wave is. It's impossible for you to understand it. You don't need to. Just make the motherfucker. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And along the way, you'll get your chip off it. Just don't be no drug addict. I was all shrooms, acid, smoking weed, liquor. I was all fucked up. You know what I mean? I fucked off all my money. I fucked off all my money. The first decade.
I think I stopped drinking Hennessy a couple of years ago, bro. I used to drink Henny every day for like 7 years of my life. I haven't drank like that in like 5 years, bro.
As long as you have your vices under control, or even if you just budget them out, you know what I mean? Keep your vices under control. Know what you're saving for, like you said, for your book, and keep your lady present. Nigga can't penetrate your shit. Cause you think you got ass kissing out? You be around gun, you see it. We ain't got the names, but you see it. You know what I mean? You be around A, you see it. You think you special? That ain't gonna be you too. And you clearly are presenting yourself that you're stepping into that phase of that level of power. Remember, power meaning energy. Not power like you can control some shit, but directed energy. You know, nigga, what? And you think it's sweet because, oh, you know, I got my girl. Nigga, that don't mean that it's not gonna permeate around you. Stop playing. Oh yeah, where's my man? Yeah. I'm gonna talk to him. Some nigga you met a couple times that got a friend that know you. You know, and you like, yo, you see this motherfucker? You seen the so-and-so? Watch how many other niggas drop a publication after you get to doing what you're doing. Watch how many other niggas start looking for a prominent university to use as a vessel to expand what they're doing. watch. You are. This is what I'm saying. You don't get your blue. You already have a visible blueprint niggas can live off of. Just because they have the finances to acquire all those things. You think that there's some, these niggas are building 3D printers. You think a nigga can't figure out how to make a machine that replicates Polaroids? I'm telling you right now, there's some motherfucker that's seeing what you're doing or has bought one, trying to figure out how to do that right now. While we're probably talking. Probably has chimed in and viewed this live. And you'll never meet this person. You'll never speak to this person. You'll never hear of them. Because they're going to find an octopus, just like you found one, that has nice linkful tentacles. The shit is a cycle, bro. But as long as you know what side of the board you're on, that's where you safe. And you are always talking about, for the people, that you are a fan. The fact that you don't remove the fan part about it is the authenticity of it. Forget where you from. You know what I mean? Forget the fact that you a fan of the shit. Word. Man, some niggas get on and who was it? Like when I see Nori, yo, he a rapper. He said he a fan. He happy to see some shit. He get excited. You know what I mean? You can see it when he talking to people. You feel me? That's the art.
He's happy to report it, bro. He's happy.
Bro.
You can see it in his face, bro. The way that you just put that together, like the way that you said that they made it across the board, now they fighting the pieces now. Like they part of like the defense now. Like from fighting now, like they part of like the defense now. Like we gotta defend this. Like this shit crazy. It's an ongoing war. It's just different levels of war.
We know there's reinforcements. We just got a stronghold. Like, you know, like it's crazy because like if you watch World War II strategies and shit, right? How they set up advancements, right? These niggas will be like, we have to create this track to ship supplies to this area 6 months from now we want to get to. This fight over here, and they're like, how the fuck are these niggas breaking ground over there? What the fuck are they doing that for? And these two different fights happen in two different areas really is just a deterrent to keep you away so that they can build a distribution line to bring supplies where the real fight about to happen. That's what the fuck that's what Nori and all these niggas are. They're creating, Joe talks in code so crazy, bro. He say little shit, he do little shit where he is laying down the tracks. He's late while we're all active. That's the thing. While we're all actively moving, he's like, I'm in position. Let me fucking build the track so I can fucking get all the more supplies in. I got access to the supplies, nigga. When he said, he's like, my check is Viacom. People didn't even peep how he ratted that out. Everybody was jocking Complex. He was like, this shit Viacom. No one at Complex was saying that. He put them niggas on blast and it dipped. Fuck you. You feel me? Like, I'm telling you, bro, you Polaroid was impossible project, nigga.
Fact. Polaroid gave up on Polaroid.
You feel me? Yeah. It's original.
You know that, right?
It's the original Polaroid original now. Right? I'm saying. They looking at other shit. Man, that shit crazy, boy. I'm telling you. Like, but you should do it. You need to do that fucking basketball jersey shit we talked about, with the niggas wearing the Harvard shit. You need to do that, with all the niggas,
Yeah. Yo, man. That's, bro, like, I just want us to have a moment in time where we take pictures inside Harvard, bro.
I mean, hey, I can't, they're going to do stuff that you don't make sense. Just let them do it. Don't even.
Right.
you're instilling confidence in them that you trust them.
Facts.
You think that they
Facts.
not privy? They know you value what you're bringing to them. You know what I mean? And you talking about finesse,
Facts.
finesse, finesse. You need to reassure the trust with them. These kids go to Harvard.
For sure.
They smart, bro.
100. 100. But we spoke about like the reason why, like they're like, what they understand about me is that they said like, as far as like the 1,000 words, they said like, it's already something that's birthed, that they just know, like they said that they, like you said, the tentacles, they know where to take it in order for me to get the situations I need to get. You know what I mean? Like they're expressing to me why they're connected. You know what I mean? And I'm expressing to them like it's a mutual thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're a fan of hip hop as well. So as far as like their journalism goes, like I put my people through Harvard and they help me put my shit out. Like it's all a system. We already spoke. We spoke about it. Like we know like they know that I could potentially be in a museum. They know that I could potentially be studied about.
And
like
the
they
thing
know
is
about
that
all this shit.
When these dynamics occur, I'm projecting. I'm guilty of this. Then you start seeing things move, and you develop a paranoia. When really, these are just necessary steps. That it's like to bother you with it is just taking away from the time you can spend continuing to be the gem that you are, for the whole reason that you guys are connected, and it turns into weird arguments that need to happen.
And also,
that's why.
Also, there's things that want to throw it off too. Like there's always a wrench too. Like you got to dodge a couple of like wrenches and shit. Like make sure that you got to be able to know how to navigate through shit, as far as like, because you deal with a lot of people's emotion. You know what I mean? Like you don't know how a person actually thinks. There are people that operate off clout. You know what I'm saying? There's people that operate off egos. You know what I'm saying? Like guilty, like we all to a certain degree. But I mean, like there's people that say they're involved, but their involvement is just for them to like get to where they want to go and forget about the culture. Like I made it to a culture where I get to hang out with people I didn't grow up with.
I'm cool. And more pussy.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, even some of those people, let them be that way, because they have to do things that will create advancements that, if too much debating and paranoia enters those interactions, I hope this makes sense. If too much arguing or discussion or paranoia interrupts those interactions, advancements don't happen. Sometimes we think being on top of things and regulating how they move is in our best interest, but that's actually it's like a form of self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? Because it's this other thing that we haven't been immersed in. You know what I'm saying? We're not part of those tentacles. We're not part of that octopus. So like, that person gonna be like, damn, I was just trying to do so and so, man. What the fuck, bro? And they can tell, like, I know why you're doing that, but can you please stop, bro? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I like what you're doing. The whole reason you have to be paranoid about this is because you're doing what you're doing. Like, who is creating the problem? If you created this world, this is a trickle down. This is a trickle down dynamic of the world you created. You can't crush these other things that you create. You're crushing your own creation. That's just not healthy, bro. Like, I've done some. The people gave me a job, artist opportunity. I'll never forget. I get 15% of the sales for my designs. I don't pay for nothing. I just did the design. Because it was selling so much, I wanted a higher percentage. I'll never forget this shit. And so I was getting my little royalty check, right, off the 15%. And I remember they were selling the shirts at like between $28 and like $34, and I was getting checks for like $300, $500, $600, right? First couple months out, right? I think on each unit I make it's like $516 or something like that. Nigga, I'm making $5 and some change, and my check is $600. Them units, bro. Now I get the bitch. Now I'm like, man, y'all selling my shit. Like, what the fuck? Like I want. And because the design was like a very propaganda theme-oriented design, it was just helping their overall brand, right, and marketing. So I'm like, well, you didn't just get a design, you got a whole marketing concept from me. And you want me to help with sales? I was like, salespeople get 12% commission. So 15% plus 12 is 22. Well, it's 20. Well, what's that? What, 15 and 12? Wow, I'm bad with math right now. That's sad.
15 and 12 is
27. Yeah, like, and so I said, like give me 25. Yes, correct. I said, just give me 25%. And I'll help do more sales. No, Boris, this and this and I felt some way. I felt like I was being jerked, so I got all paranoid about the shit. Discontinue. I don't want to do it no more. Watch this. The month that I decided to do that, you see how I'm asking other questions about shit that I ain't got nothing to do with, right? My job was just do the design. I did the design. Why were they gravitated toward me? I was doing street art in Richmond. I was at a place where I was at an art studio where I'm going to the cafe across the street from the art studio. My shit's popping, right? These people offered me opportunity. I didn't have the money or the ability to print, have a location, do art. I have none of that. And they gave me a great opportunity because they see like, well, these are designs, but he's in street art culture, right? They're tapping in. I feel like, oh, you some vulture ass niggas. All you people are involved in the arts. All of you motherfuckers went to art school. All you niggas been making art since you were kids. But I'm treating them a certain way. The month that I decide to discontinue the design, they went to Virginia Commonwealth University and was going to have my shit in the fucking gift shop at Virginia Commonwealth University. I find out years later, it was some professor and some other kid that had like a big order that they were going to do. And then that's when they were going to increase my percentage. You see what I'm saying? How the paranoid. Why did I? Because I'm paranoid. You not a start. You ain't been in the trenches like I have. You know what I mean? Why you making all the money? I'm not knowing that extra 12% that I was bitching about. That money that they could have gave it to me, but that's not paying to upgrade equipment, stock up on more supplies, so that they can bring the price down wholesale, so they can make it more available, so we can sell more units. Being paranoid, and all of this. Why did all this happen? Because I created something. I created design work that created that world for them. Sometimes you can self-sabotage. You'll see it like you stood up for yourself, and really you fucked yourself. You know, that shit that niggas do that they don't want to admit. Too many niggas. There's some high-ranking niggas that we know that have done dumb shit like that, and they don't want to admit that shit because it's too shameful. I ain't got no more shame. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I done fucked up sometimes. It's ridiculous. A, look at me. A low-key is so like frustrated with me. Like, this nigga Boris, if he would just fucking chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? But I'm proud of you, brother. I'm glad you thugged it out. I still haven't listened to that rock shit though. I feel wrong listening to the Stove God shit because it's a leak.
After you read the article with him, you probably vibe out to it. It was just you gotta understand somebody really did some sucker shit and leaked that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but Stove gonna have to recook that shit probably. You know what I mean? So enjoy it for what it is. It's just like 3 official songs and like 2 joints where he's like building a song and Like you could tell it's like another verse for something else, but yo, it's really dope, though.
The shit always though. Nigga, look. You about to pass out though. It's time to chime.
Hey, I'm gonna hit me up in the morning. We can chop it up in the morning.
All right.
Thank you, my brother. Next Wednesday for sure, bro. Like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're gonna get this shit right. You're gonna walk them through your journey, bro, so we can document this.